Hey, welcome back everyone, Old Bubs here. Today we are going to do a scale swap on the Wee Knives Banter. I have these Groove micarta scales coming in from Flytanium that we're going to swap out. Quick rundown of what you're going to need here. You will need a T6 and a T8 driver. You'll need a little bit of thread locker, something to clean with. I like using 91% isopropyl alcohol, some cleaning cloths, and a little bit of a lubricant. I like using nano oil, the 10 weight variety for bearings. So now this should be a pretty straightforward disassembly. I'm just going to start by taking off the pocket clip screws. Set those aside here. Whoop! Gotta get that one all the way out here. I like to always leave myself a map around the knife in the order that things came off in. Oh, that guy's a T8. I'll take off the pivot as well. Okay, now that we got our pivot side off here, open it up and you see we have just a little liner and a liner lock. This just sits on here with a couple of pins. If you move it into the locked position, to help us just kind of gently pry this part apart. So we got that liner off, we'll save that to the side. Then we take our blade off and we have these bearings. We are going to need to take this side off to get into our other scale. We can push that pivot all the way through, set it to the side, set our other bearing up here. Don't want to lose our stop pin there, so we just have two screws here. Should both be T8s as well. And of course everything's going to want to go all over the table for a ride. It's kind of the best part about these liner lock style knives is that they're just ultra simplistic in design, which is great. Okay, so we are going to need to figure out exactly how to get those out of there, and they're very, very form fitted. So the first thing that I'm going to try here is I'm going to pinch this like that, just give it a whack test. There went that one. Alright, and we're making just a tiny little bit of progress. Sometimes, funny enough, what ends up being the best tool for the job is just these little tiny screwdriver sets. This is just a super cheap one that I got on Amazon like 7-8 years ago. And the number of things that I've used it for is astonishing. So I'm just going to try a tiny little flathead. So we have just this little lip here that we can maybe pry it with. That is a real good fit. Alright, now we got that out of there. So we can set our other scales aside. I gotta go gather my other piece. Okay, now that we got all our parts, we're just gonna go ahead and take this opportunity to clean everything up. Just put a little rubbing alcohol on the little swatches here. Get all the grease off of everything. Get our pivot. Start fresh with some new oil. And you know, I really like the Banter Banter was the first design that came to market from Ben Peterson, now of NAFSCO. I really appreciate just the simplistic design that he brought to the table here. Alright, so now we're going to pop this in here, start to get this assembled. Liner will pop in there. This clearly does not fit quite as tight as it did on the other one. And then if I can get a close up here, inside this pivot collar there's this little cutout that matches on that cutout. That's what keeps this guy from spinning, so we want to line that up. And there, when that's in there, it should fit just all the way flush. There should be nothing that sticks up there. This piece that's monkeying around on me here. Put these standoffs back in. Grab a little bit of thread locker or T8. You can tell that Ben had these assembled with just that little bit of blue Loctite, which is the good stuff. You don't want it cemented in there permanently. You just want it so you don't lose hardware, so the screws don't back out on you. That was probably a little bit much, but such is life sometimes. Alright, just get those snug. Don't go wrenching them down. No reefing. No reefing allowed. Put our stop pin back in there. Now we can get a bearing. A little 10 weight nano oil. Give it a spin and get our blade on here. Put a little bit of nano oil down onto that, and also in a little hole with a detent ball, because that's going to make it roll smooth. It's really just as simple as getting this lined up the rest of the way here. Now I'm going to start with getting the pivot, screw back in, okay, and we'll get our back screw here. Dropped into that spacer. Then we'll drop our pocket clip back in there. I like this. I like this hardware. So the longer screw goes into this top one because that's where the spacer goes. So that one goes all the way through. And the shorter one is just the liner. There we go, just like that. Alright, now let's see, make sure we're in working order. We're still on center. Beautiful. It's probably a little stiff. Got that a little too tight. Snugged it up real good. Oh yeah, that's running great. Go back through and tighten up all of our screws. This micarta came unoiled. I think this one will look really nice if you do oil it up a little bit. Micarta gives such a great grip. I really like the way that hardware and that blade contrasts with this micarta color. Hopefully this gives you the confidence to go ahead and do a scale swap of your own on your Wii Banter. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you'll let love and light fill your life. Stay sharp out there, friends. See you on the next one.